Hi, welcome to a special crosstown edition of Section 420, Talkin Yankees. We're here at CitiField, CitiField or Shitty Field, get it, in Flushing, Queens, home of those stinking rotten Mets, to help preview the upcoming Subway Series this week. Now, the way they have it formatted is they do 2 games here and then 2 games at Yankee Stadium, which I don't really like. I like the way they originally used to do it. It'd be 3 games at one stadium, that was it, that was the end of the discussion, and then next year 3 games at the other stadium. At least, 3 games, you figure out, you find out who the winner is. But this, 2-and-2 format, well, what if you split? You feel like you didn't win anything. I don't like it, but hey, they just want to cram this in to make as much money as possible. Now, 2016 has been a little tough on those Mets, especially losing Matt Harvey and a bunch of injuries, coming off a World Series. They've been struggling now a little bit, and even though they have a better shot at making playoffs than the Yankees are also trying to fight for a wild card. So both teams are going to take these 4 games quite seriously, so we should definitely get some great baseball. Well, hopefully this thing doesn't pop up when Yankee pitchers are on the mound. Of course, if Cashman does unload any big-name players tomorrow, it's really going to take the juice out of the Subway Series. I mean, this might be the Yankees' World Series of the year. Queens, it's like a whole other world over here. All right, 2 medium bubble teas. Enjoy. Too much bubble tea. Okay, so the debate, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 6, been such a long time, is which stadium is better, the new Yankee Stadium or CitiField? It's not even close. Here at Yankee Stadium, it's bright, it's cheerful, you got the nice arches, you got Derek Jeter, how can you beat that? And, they built grounds for the public use, unlike CitiField where it's just like a desolate wasteland. This place is like a dump. Now, I'll give them the credit, what they do good here at CitiField is the food, especially with Shake Shack and all the different beers. That they did good. Other than that, it's Yankee Stadium by a landslide. In fact, this is more of a memorial to the Dodgers and Jackie Robinson. Nothing with Mets. It's just everything with the Mets. It's just done wrong. And there's nowhere to park around here. It's a disaster. I mean, you got to spend like $20 on a lot. Whereas the Yankee Stadium, you could go in the Grand Concourse, and even if it's before hours, you park only costs $6. Again, Yankee Stadium does it way better. Everything with the Mets is a disaster. I mean, this place is filthy. They don't even clean it up. Look how dark and disturbing this place is. It's scary, actually. I wouldn't want to play here. Now, we have to be realistic here. With each passing day, the Yankee season is slowly drowning, and with tomorrow the trade deadline, it's possible someone like Beltran or Miller, who we've been hearing about, even Nova, Eovaldi, might get moved. It's going to happen now. I think of all of them, I think they'll hold on to Miller. I mean, he's a great closer, great guy to bullpen, and you still have him for 2 more years under $9 million. So unless the Yankees get blown away with some big package, they'll hold on to him. Beltran, yes, he can help a lot of teams, but he's pretty much a DH now, which means he can only go to an American League team. Someone might pick him up, but unless the Yankees get something really juicy for him, hold on to him, even if you know the season's going nowhere. I mean, you can't go in the season with just Teixeira and A-Rod in the middle of the lineup. I mean, at least give us Beltran, keep him in there. What happened this season for the Yankees? Well, it was 2 overestimations. First overestimation was in the middle of the lineup, mainly Teixeira and A-Rod driving in home runs. But I mean, both those guys, I think one has like 10 home runs, the other has 9. Haven't gotten it done. We expected like twice as many home runs. So that's mainly the reason why the offense stinks. And then on the pitching side, I think the Yankees miscalculated the way that both Eovaldi, Pineda were going to develop, as well as Nova being more consistent, all of which did not happen. They also overestimated Severino's ability to have a good sophomore year based on what he showed us last year as a rookie. So those are probably the reasons that the Yankees are in this little pit right now, which doesn't seem like they're getting out of. Now the Yankee season keeps trudging along slowly. So what should they do? Well, I don't think they're going to do any blockbuster deals. Now there's some rumor about getting Chris Sale from the White Sox, who cut up his uniforms. He's going nuts. He wants to get the hell out of there. I wouldn't mind having him, a great left hand. Might be better than Kershaw. But if the Yankees just get a competent third starter, that's not asking a lot. Now we got Tanaka and CC are kind of reliable. The problem is we have too many guys like Nova, Eovaldi, and Pineda where good start, bad start, good start, bad start. Pineda's been a little better, but if you could just roll in a competent third starter with CC and then Tanaka over a course of time, that will stabilize the rotation. They'll win more games. And Cashman also said the team needs to declare themselves. Well, they did. They go to Cleveland, one of the best teams in baseball, take 3 out of 4. Come home. All right, you drop 2 to 3 to Boston, but you had 4 days off. The bats will slump. That's fine. Then you take 3 out of 4 against the Baltimore Orioles, 2 out of 3 against the San Francisco Giants. Both teams, especially the Giants, are World Series contenders. They really should have swept the Giants, except McCann could hit a freaking sacrifice fly. So this team did declare themselves. Also going down to Houston, another great team, one of the best teams in baseball. Take 2 out of 3 there. So this team was declaring itself. So I don't know why Cashman got rid of Chapman. He should have kept him. Now, I'll admit I was wrong. I was a little surprised they pulled the trigger on the Chapman deal. Now, on paper, it looks good. We get this great prospect who's like a top 30 prospect. He was a Cubs' best prospect, but it's a 19-year-old kid. You don't know how this guy's going to turn out. Maybe he's the next Shane Spencer or Ricky Leday. So essentially in this Chapman deal, we gave one of the best closers in baseball, a guy who throws like 101, 102, hit 105 on the radar gun. We gave him away for Adam Warren. That's the way I see this deal. Now, it seemed like the entire time the reason Cashman did get him is knowing he was going to unload him later. And again, we still have a pretty damn good bullpen, but by getting rid of Chapman, the Yankees are basically saying, all right, we have no shot for AL East. Maybe we could sneak in as a wild card, but probably not. So they basically gave up on the season. In the courtroom of my brain, I got to judge the Chapman trade as bad. Off topic here, but these Sunbelt granola bars, awesome. Only 50 cents, and they're really healthy. Back to the Yankees. Now, they've recalled Severino. We haven't seen him since April when he was 0-3. Added Chad Green, 2 good arms from the system. You could spot on them. They could come out of the pen maybe late in games and throw some gas. I don't say that's the solution. We just need a reliable veteran third starter. That's it. I'm not asking for a lot. We could save the season, I think. And Brett Gardner in left field continues to give the Yankees nothing with the bat. Okay, we know he's got the great defense, he's got speed on the bases, even though he doesn't steal enough, but he's got to do more, whether he's a leadoff or a second-place hitter. I mean, what happened with this guy? He used to be a 300 hitter, he used to work counts, he used to be a pain in the ass. Now he's like an automatic ground out. Now, his name has come up as possible trade rumors, but no one's going to want him. I mean, he has a reasonable contract to unload, but still, nobody wants him. And Brett, maybe your best days are over. Sorry. I've been saying all year long, the Yankees need offense, and if they weren't going to trade anybody, there was a possibility of bringing up Aaron Judge. But then a few weeks ago, he tweaks his patella or some stupid thing in the knee. Maybe it's going to be September call-up, but getting his power up here, not happening. Unfortunately, it looks like A-Rod is just totally done for his career. He's batting 200, only has like 9 home runs, and now he's not even the full-time DH anymore. He's like a bench player. They're paying him $30 million now. I don't know how they're going to handle it next year. Honestly, if he's taking up a roster spot and he can't even play and produce, might as well cut him. You're paying him anyway, so what's the difference? Now, I have 3 Met fans that actually might watch this, so I'll do a Mets review. I'm at CitiField. Why not? Their season, not going too well. A little slide from last year's World Series run. Now, you lose Matt Harvey, of course. That's a killer. And you got bone chips in the spurs of both Noah Syndergaard and Steven Matz. They're trying to pitch through it, but it seems more with Matz. Sooner or later, that's just going to burn out, and he's going to have to go on the DL. Cologne's still good. Overall, still a good rotation, but again, not as good as last year. And in terms of their offense, very teetering. Very similar to the Yankees. If they don't hit a home run, they don't score. Now, at least they have Cespedes. They hit some home runs, unlike A-Rod, who's just like gone, disappeared. I don't know, he might as well retire right now. My feeling on the Mets, I don't think they're going to get the National League East. Just to watch the Nationals, this look like a better team. The Mets could have a chance for the wild card, but again, I just think eventually Matz is going to go down, and of course it's the Mets. I don't see them bringing any big players like they did last year with Cespedes, and they're not scoring enough runs, so they too are probably going to fall short. And again, I don't see Sandy Olson bringing any big name, big money contracts in here, because that's what the Mets do. They're little cheapoids, but unfortunately, Met fans, I think both of us are going to share not getting into the playoffs, and I guess we'll just be watching football. Now, don't be fooled. It might look like the 4 train. It might smell like the 4 train. It might even taste like the 4 train. It's not the 4 train. 7 train sucks. It's proven. It's unreliable. A lot of times they're doing construction on the weekends, and they got to shut the line down, and then instead of going all the way, you got to take the E train to Broadway Junction, and it's just a whole mess. Whereas the 4 train, it's always running. It's reliable. All day. All weekend. All the time. 4 train has character. 4 train has personality. Well, I was going to do an entire episode in Queens. Can't smell all that bad air. Had to get some cleanliness from Yankee Stadium. Being so close to CitiField and the Mets, I gotta wash all this filth off me. No matter what happens in this 2016 edition of the Subway Series, we all know that of the two teams, the Yankees are always gonna have the better stadium.